Let's welcome
I've been
up
waiting to meet her all
Laurie
day.
Loew.
Laurie! Oh, I'm
Thank
such
you,
a
Laurie.
fan. I'm such a fan.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, everybody. It's so fun to be here in front of you today. I'm going to play a little song and a little bit of ode to my purple hair and Prince, but I think it says a lot about what's happening in our world and what has not happened in our world. So if you hold on just a second, I'm going to play a little bit of Prince here. Am I on? So Prince recorded this song 29 years ago and released it. And we still have the same issues in our society with drugs, gangs, guns, and even AIDS now. So that tells me, as a businesswoman, that government's not solving our problems, right? Nonprofits aren't necessarily solving the problems. So welcome to social entrepreneurship, a way for for-profit businesses to give back to the community and create social good through a business model. Super wonderful business model. You need to ask yourself a few questions. Who are you? When I introduce myself, I don't say I'm a realtor or a real estate broker, because most people duck and run, okay? I say, my name is Laurie Loew, and if you're a baby boomer, I'm a philanthropist. If you are anything but a baby boomer, I'm a social entrepreneur. What do you represent? As you heard, Give Realty and the business I started is all about being a stepping stone for our clients to give back to the community and engage with the nonprofit community. That's what it's all about. I get asked all the time, is it a tax write-off? Do you get to write off all those donations? Well, I get to claim it as income and write it off, right? So in the whole business world of things, it's pretty much, it's a business expense. So yes, I do get to write it off, not all the time. And there's only so much money that you can donate back to the nonprofit community as a business and still be able and not have to carry it over. And then how do you achieve it, right? So social entrepreneurship is nothing new. The nonprofit community has been doing it for a very, very long time. Any nonprofit that has a sustainable business model within it is actually a social entrepreneur. But on the for-profit business side, it's a little bit different. So many businesses wait until they make money to give money away. And I truly believe that you have to make giving a part of the business model no matter what. You also have to ask yourself what is valuable to you. So what do you want to provide? Quality, of course. Absolutely. You cannot sacrifice quality and use the fact that you're giving back as a reason why you're not as good or better than the next person who's doing something similar to you. Do you want quantity? If you're going to start a business and you're going to use the social entrepreneurship angle and the give back angle as a marketing tool, maybe you want a quantity of customers. Or what else are you looking for? For me, when I started Give Realty, it was a marketing idea, right? There are probably right now, there are 11,000 realtors in the Austin metro area. There's about 4,200 square miles of land, so that puts 2.6 realtors per square mile. That's based on on average, there's 440 people per square mile in the metro area. In Austin proper, Travis County, which still has a lot of vacant land in it, there's 2,600 people per square mile. So if you calculate that out, there's 15 realtors in every square mile in Travis County. That's a lot of competition. So you have to find a way to make yourself an anomaly in a world of commodity. Because you have to be able to differentiate yourself from the pack. And for me, the social entrepreneur model worked perfectly. Nobody was doing it. I started it back in 2008. It was a combination of me going through my divorce and a dollop of Catholic guilt is how the idea was born. I call it my light bulb moment. And I have made myself an anomaly in a world of commodity. I have 6 agents now. For every 7 of us on the team, there's 1,000 realtors who will rebate 25% back to their client. I don't want that client. That's not the person I want to work with. The client I want to work with and the person I want to help find a home is someone who, as cheesy as it sounds, cares about other people and cares about making Austin a better place to live. Because that's me. I care about people, and I want to make Austin a better place to live for everybody in this room, for my clients' families, and for everybody, all the 110 people that are moving here every day. So, I really want you to ask a lot of questions. So I'm getting ready to finish up my little speech here. So there's things you want to never forget. A percentage of something is worth more than 100% of nothing. That's the philosophy I had to go in when I was giving up 25% of my income consistently when I first started the business, is that 75% of something is a whole lot more than 100% of nothing. When I started Give Realty, I'd been in the real estate market for 3 years, just gone through a divorce, lost my financial support through the divorce. So my financial future was pretty bleak. And within 3.5, 4 years, I was in the top 7 to 10% of agents in the Austin market. I didn't get there without doing this. So if you wonder if it's worth it, I would say yes, but you got to be in it for the long haul, and you have to be doing it for all the right reasons. Another thing I cannot say enough about is being socially responsible does not mean you provide an inferior product or service or that you work less. I would say we work as hard or harder than any other agents out there at what we do because we're not motivated by commission. We're motivated by the donation. And we know when we lose that client, a nonprofit is going to lose a donation. And not only is a nonprofit going to lose a donation, but our client will not get to engage with that nonprofit. The whole idea is help them find a home, write a check to a nonprofit they are passionate about so that they further engage in our community. So they volunteer, they continue to donate, they serve on boards. There are more nonprofits in Austin than there are restaurants and gas stations combined. Okay? So there is a lot of need out there, for sure. So, and then ultimately, love what you do. I think that's been a recurring theme in this whole festival, that you really do need to love what you do. And I love what I do. I definitely love what I do. So I'd like to open up to questions that anybody may have. So questions?
And maybe tell us how much money you've given away since you started. But
Right.
also, as they mentioned, you started this 3 weeks before the financial crisis.
Yeah,
I would
6
love
weeks,
to
yeah.
know
Yep.
what kept you going through that and how you made it work.
So, absolutely. So it was hard. It was really, really difficult. I launched, I'm a firm believer of asking for forgiveness before you ask for permission. I launched the business without talking to the Texas Real Estate Commission. I said, I'm going to do it. It's something I want to do. I sent him the information. She grilled me for a half an hour. And I said, can I do what I want to do? And she goes, absolutely. I just want to make sure you had the right answers to the questions. And you understood what the agents can't take anything for free. I can't get anything that a entity wouldn't give a realtor who does not give back to charity. So there's nothing extra in it for me or for the brokerage. But it was extremely difficult. So it took a year and a half to get my first customer that came to me directly because of the business model. I can probably tell you up to 2011 where I was sitting when a client called me because I was living hand to mouth. I rented out my condo, moved in with my boyfriend, celebrated my 44th birthday in a 400 square foot or a 700 square foot apartment going, what the hell have I done? This is not what I expected to be at 44, right? Went through my entire 401k. I say I donated it to charity, right? Didn't take a paycheck consistently until 2013. I couldn't take a paycheck consistently. Borrowed money from my at the time, 84-year-old mom to bridge the gap between closings. But I refused to fail. I wasn't going to fail because I had far less material things that I've ever had in my life, but I was so friggin' happy. And I got up to work every day and loved what I did. And I get goosebumps still talking about it and saying it. And now I'm standing in front of you, have donated $535,000 with the help of my agents to the nonprofit community. So you can do it. You can do it. I'm a firm believer in living small or living conservatively and giving generously. It doesn't mean I don't like nice things. I love nice things. I drive a nice car because I'm in it a lot. But I just live very differently. I mean, that $500,000 could have easily gone to a mortgage payment, but we still live in the house that my husband bought before we got married for $160,000 in South Austin. It needs a remodel and a new fence, but that's okay because that's just not what motivates me. It really motivates me to give back to the community and help change the world. So, anybody else? Oh, come on. I have no secrets. None. You can ask me any business question you want.
Hello.
Hello.
Sounds like you've been through a bit of trouble starting this to get success. What would you say is the biggest hurdle or trouble or challenge?
Biggest challenge? I tend to have a different perspective on a lot of things. I'm the ninth of 10 children. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. I'm the youngest surviving of 10, so I'm the ninth child. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. I have 8 brothers and 1 sister. And they have all been super successful. They started 13 businesses and only 1 has failed. So I always knew I had a great safety net because I'd never be homeless and I'd never be hungry. And once I started donating back to charity, I realized that I am an anomaly, that I don't have to worry about those things, right? Because the safety net I have is tremendous. Because I know that if the proverbial you-know-what hit the fan, I'd have a place to live and I'd have food. And so that's been hugely beneficial in the mindset and wanting to take risk and the ability to take risk. I found that the client base is a huge safety net as well. Our clients end up being some of our great friends. And, if I ever did end up homeless, I know I'd have plenty of lovely homes to stay in that I've sold in the process. But I would have to say that probably the biggest challenge and yet the biggest blessing in the last couple years has been my stage 4 cancer diagnosis. In March of 2015, I was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. It started with a pain in my hip. There's no cancer history in my family. It's not related to smoking. It was out of the blue. And I'd always had hip problems, but it was like okay, I need to take better care of myself, I need to exercise more, I need to lose a little weight, right? All those things that we attribute. My mom had a bad hip, my sister has a bad hip, and 2 brothers have a bad hip. And lo and behold, when I went in thinking I was passing a gallstone and went into the urologist, I was told that I had stage 4 lung cancer and had metastasized all through my pelvis and in my spine. So in April of 2015, I started undergoing chemotherapy, and I hated my life. I felt like crap all the time. The only time I felt good was when I was laying on the couch. But the most beautiful thing of all was that I had a staff by then of other agents that allowed me to let go, allowed me to put Laurie first. In 2014, I sold 51 homes personally with a part-time admin person. In 2015, I sold 6. And I was still able to take a paycheck, and I knew that the clients were being taken care of because I had surrounded myself with agents who are all contract. They don't get paid unless they sell real estate, who believed, like I do, in what we were doing, and that giving back to the community was more important than putting a considerable amount of money in their pocket. We donated over $100,000 last year. So on average, each agent gave $15,000 to $20,000 out of their own pocket. And getting that diagnosis has really, truly been a blessing. I know that sounds weird, but because it allowed me to let go. It allowed me to not be that person who is so hypersensitive that doesn't think anybody can do it but me, right? Because nobody can do it better than the founder, right? Nobody could be more passionate about it than me, because I'm the one that started it. And so letting go, asking for help, that's something I don't do. I've never asked my family for money to help get through the business. I just sacrificed myself to get through. And to receive help gracefully, I think, was probably the hardest thing for me to do, because I'm just used to battling on and moving through and making decisions in life that its quality of life is way more better than quantity, that success isn't the zip code you live in. I can't take it with me, right? All those personal possessions, the things that we spend so much of our time working for because we want the newest this or the newest that. You know what? When I'm on that other side of the dirt, they aren't going to matter at all. But what I'm going to miss, and what I hope the world misses, is I'm going to miss the people in my life, and I'm hoping that they miss me. And so really understanding what's important has been probably one of the most beautiful things. And if I stand here today and say from the bottom of my heart that if I had to go back to my first marriage and be cancer-free, or be doing what I'm doing now, I'll take cancer any day, and my new husband, and my life, because money doesn't buy you happiness. So giving it away does, though. So I strongly encourage people to consider that if you're going to start a business. It's not easy, but you're definitely going to make yourself an anomaly in a world of commodity, and you're going to attract the customers you want to work with. And to me, there's nothing better than that. Why not? I'd love to work hard for people who are passionate about making the world a better place. It makes it easy. So I guess that's it. I'm hanging around if anybody has any questions. So cheers.